The Galactic Council chamber had witnessed the fall of empires, the signing of ancient alliances, and the end of countless wars, but never silence like this. Hundreds of representatives sat beneath glowing holographic stars, watching the lone human standing in the center of the hall. The stars outside the massive glass walls glittered quietly, but inside the air felt heavy with expectation. Admiral Elena Reyes stood calmly as the Galactic Peace Treaty hovered before her, lines of alien text scrolling slowly in the air. The treaty promised everlasting peace. No more wars. No more independent military fleets. No more weapons development outside Council control. Every civilization would be protected under one authority. She read the final paragraph carefully. Then she closed the document. Humanity refuses, she said. The chamber erupted into whispers. Translators buzzed as shock spread through the room. The council speaker leaned forward, its voice calm but sharp. You refuse peace? Elena's expression did not change. I refuse control disguised as peace. The room grew quiet again. The speaker explained that centralized authority was necessary to prevent conflict. Without oversight, weaker civilizations would suffer. Weapons, it argued, were the root of instability. Elena stepped closer. On Earth, she said, we learned something the hard way. Peace that cannot be defended does not survive. An armored delegate struck the table with a claw. Weapons create fear. Elena nodded slightly. So does helplessness. The council had expected humanity to agree. Humans were newcomers, young, emotional, unpredictable. They believed Earth would trade freedom for security. Instead, Elena stepped back. Peace without choice isn't peace, she said quietly. It's obedience. And she walked away. No shouting, no threats, just refusal. 6 hours later, every communication network in known space received a broadcast carrying Earth's insignia. Any civilization forced into peace against it will find sanctuary under human protection. Shock spread across the galaxy. Debate erupted inside council worlds. Smaller systems listened carefully. Within days, several colonies questioned the treaty. Others openly rejected it. Earth had done the unthinkable. It had offered an alternative. Inside Earth's orbital command station, tension filled the air. Screens displayed fleet movements near the Sol system. Advisors spoke rapidly while Elena watched the growing list of red markers. They're mobilizing, an officer said. She nodded. I know. You just challenged the most powerful alliance in the galaxy. No, she replied. I reminded them choice still exists. Below, Earth turned peacefully, blue oceans and white clouds hiding a long history of conflict. Humanity had learned survival through struggle. The Council saw that history as violent. Humans saw it as experience. 3 days later, the first Council fleet arrived. Massive warships emerged from hyperspace, their formation precise and intimidating. Global alerts activated across Earth. Yet instead of panic, humor spread. Memes flooded networks within minutes. People joked about the alien ships. Fear turned into laughter, the strange human habit of mocking danger. A transmission appeared on command screens. The council speaker's image flickered into view. Admiral Reyes, sign the treaty. This is your final opportunity. Elena crossed her arms. You brought battleships to negotiate peace. We came to maintain order. She ended the transmission. Earth's defenses quietly powered up. Satellites rotated into position. Hidden lunar installations awakened. Humanity had prepared for worst-case scenarios long ago, just in case the universe turned unfriendly. One council cruiser crossed into restricted orbit. The command room waited. Elena, she nodded once. Fire warning. A beam shot from the moon, slicing past the cruiser's hull. Close enough to melt armor, but not destroy. Stop. For a moment, silence. Then the cruiser fired back. The shot missed Earth intentionally, but it was enough. The first act of war. Every screen turned red. They fired first, someone whispered. Record everything, Elena said calmly. Earth's defense grid activated instantly. Satellites fired in coordinated patterns. Fighter craft launched into space, engines glowing bright against darkness. The Council fleet hesitated. They expected chaos, not precision. Human tactics changed constantly. Pilots adapted mid-battle. Engineers uploaded new strategies in real time. Civilians analyzed data from Earth and sent solutions directly into combat networks. A Council frigate exploded under concentrated fire. Another lost shields after waves of drones struck from multiple angles. Over open comms, a human pilot laughed. Guess negotiations are over. Even in battle, humans joked. Elena watched quietly. She did not celebrate. She understood the cost of what had begun. They thought we would surrender, an advisor said. She shook her head. They thought we were afraid. Hours passed. The Council fleet pulled back, surprised by Earth's resistance. But long-range sensors detected more jump signatures forming beyond the system. Reinforcements. This was only the beginning. Messages began arriving from other star systems. Small worlds. Frontier colonies. Independent fleets. Thank you for saying no, one message read. Earth had broken the silence the Council depended on. As damaged ships drifted through orbit, Elena stood by the observation window. Space looked peaceful again, but she knew the storm was still coming. Do you think we can win? A young officer asked. She smiled faintly. We don't need to conquer anyone, she said. We just need to prove that freedom has allies. Far away, the Council replayed reports of the battle. Humans refusing orders. Humans fighting back. Humans laughing while under threat. They finally understood what made Earth dangerous. Humans did not seek war, but they refused to be controlled. Earth's defenses prepared for the next wave. Weapons charged. Engines hummed. Across millions of screens, one message spread. We didn't choose this fight, but we will choose how it ends. The first battle was over. The real war had just begun. The silence after the first battle felt heavier than the fighting itself. Debris drifted slowly above Earth. Broken armor, shattered ships, and fragments of technology that only hours earlier had arrived as symbols of unquestioned power. Rescue drones moved quietly through the wreckage, recovering survivors from escape pods. Some were human, some were Council soldiers, and humans did not fire at them. That small act would later spread through the galaxy faster than any official statement. Inside Earth's orbital command station, exhaustion covered every face. The victory had come at cost. Casualty reports scrolled endlessly across glowing screens. Admiral Elena Reyes stood in silence, watching new red markers appear on the tactical map. More fleets were coming. The Council had underestimated Earth once. It would not do so again. How long? She asked. 2 days, an analyst replied. Maybe less. She nodded slowly. Then we use every second. Across Earth, nations that normally argued over everything suddenly moved together. Factories shifted into wartime production. Orbital elevators worked nonstop. Civilian engineers submitted solutions faster than military teams could review them. The world adapted the way humans always had, quickly and chaotically, yet somehow effectively. What surprised outsiders most was the calm. People still worked, still laughed, still lived their lives while watching orbital battles unfold on screens. Humor spread across networks. Memes compared Council dreadnoughts to oversized metal whales. One viral post read, Galaxy wanted peace. Earth chose freedom. Let's see who lasts longer. Humanity faced fear by laughing at it. Far away, the Galactic Council held an emergency meeting. Reports from the first battle repeated again and again. Human coordination was unexpectedly strong. Their adaptability was unpredictable. Their morale refused to break. They are primitives, one delegate argued angrily. Another responded quietly. Then why are we losing ships? The room fell silent. The Council speaker made its decision. Full mobilization. Back in the Sol system, Earth began receiving unexpected transmissions. Small frontier worlds sent messages of support. Independent colonies offered supplies and volunteer crews. Some simply sent one line, "Thank you for saying no." Elena watched the incoming signals and understood something important. The galaxy had been waiting for someone to resist first. 2 days later, space itself seemed to tear apart as the Second Council fleet arrived. Massive dreadnoughts emerged from hyperspace, followed by carriers and destroyers stretching farther than sensors could easily count. The tactical display glowed red. This was not a warning. This was overwhelming force. Inside command, silence fell. "That's impossible," someone whispered. Elena folded her arms. "No," she said quietly. "That's fear." The council transmitted once more. "You have resisted long enough," the speaker said. "Sign the treaty and stand down. This is your final chance." Elena stepped closer to the screen. "You offered peace without freedom," she replied. "That was never going to work." "Then you choose war," the speaker answered. "We choose choice," she said, ending the transmission. The battle began instantly. Council ships fired first, beams of energy tearing through orbit. Several defense satellites vanished in bright flashes. Human fleets scattered instead of holding formation. Small ships moved unpredictably, forcing the larger alien vessels to divide their fire. Humans knew they couldn't win by matching strength directly, so they fought differently. Fast, creative, unpredictable. Mining drones were turned into weapons. Cargo ships filled with scrap were launched into enemy paths. Tactics changed every minute. Council commanders struggled to adapt. "They are not following any doctrine," one alien officer shouted. A human pilot laughed over open comms. "That's because we're improvising." Near the moon, a massive council dreadnought broke through defenses. Its weapons charged, preparing to fire at Earth itself. Command officers froze. "We can't stop it," someone said. Elena stayed calm. "Yes, we can." The dark side of the moon split open as hidden structures rose slowly from beneath the surface. A secret cannon, built quietly decades earlier, locked onto the target. Powered by deep nuclear reactors, it released a single blinding beam. The dreadnought stopped. For a heartbeat, nothing happened. Then the ship cracked apart, splitting into glowing fragments that drifted silently into space. Cheers erupted across the command center. Elena watched quietly. She knew this wasn't victory, it was escalation. Hours later, the fighting slowed. Both sides were damaged. Both sides were exhausted. Gradually, the Council fleet began pulling back again, surprised by resistance they had never expected. Human forces did not chase. They simply held their ground. Earth was still standing. As the enemy retreated, signals flooded in from across the galaxy. More worlds declared neutrality. Some openly sided with Earth. The illusion of perfect Council unity began to fracture. An officer approached Elena. "Do you think they'll stop now?" he asked. She looked at the blue planet below. "No," she said softly, "because they still think this is about winning." She paused. "For us, it's about never kneeling." Far away, within the Council's command, a frightening realization spread. Humans were dangerous not because of their weapons or technology. They were dangerous because they inspired others to resist. And that idea was spreading faster than any fleet. The war was no longer just about Earth. It was about freedom, and the galaxy was beginning to choose sides. If this story entertained or taught you something, please like and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us grow and bring you more stories like this. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next story.